Cool.
This is a Friday Night Live session, so we're just hanging out, drinking, talking about fights. Nothing specific, no schedule. I don't have my radio voice, just the three of us hanging out with you guys. So hop in if you have questions.
Radio
let
voice,
us know.
huh?
We already have a question waiting for us, guys, from Jill.
Oh, Jill. Jacob, you got that. You were all over the ceremonial
Jacob watched the
weigh-ins.
ceremonial weigh-ins. So, Jacob, why don't you give us some highlights from it? I watched the press conference yesterday. I did not watch the real or the ceremonial weigh-ins, but you did. So give us some highlights, man.
I watched the ceremonial stuff, but go ahead, Jake. You got this.
The biggest thing that I was texting you about is the new T-shirts, which is kind of funny because they just signed that big deal with Crypto.com, and now on their fight kits, on their T-shirts, there's logos. So I think the UFC's biggest thing for getting away with like individual endorsements was like clean it up and make it more professional. And now they're bringing logos back on everything. So they have a big logo on the T-shirt. So nobody took their T-shirt off. I'm pretty sure they were told not to take their T-shirt off because the new branding and stuff. So you couldn't see, and this sounds stupid, but you couldn't see people's physiques. Well, when people are cutting weight and people are filling out, it's kind of good sometimes to be able to see is someone still sucked out, or they filling out well, especially Dustin, because I thought Dustin had a and he did take his shirt off, I'm pretty sure, but Dustin to me looked like he had a rough weight cut. You know what the funniest part about the whole thing is that Conor at the press conference made a comment. He said, your eyes look sucked out. They look tired. They look like the weight cut's bad. I could see it in your eyes. So then Dustin shows up to weigh-ins with sunglasses on. Like you could tell like that. I think that comment honestly got to him where he's like, I don't want people to see my eyes thinking I'm sucked out and stuff. But to me, he did look worse than I've seen him look in past weight cuts. So that's kind of what I think
of him at the ceremonials. I thought he looked fine.
Yeah, he feels out fine. He just looked a little worse for wear than I've seen him in the past. But he is a huge lightweight. So that's the only thing I really
crazy.
Noticed.
Both those guys used to make 145. It's like it's just insane.
And Rivera made weight today. I mean, that was one of the biggest concerns because he was fighting at featherweight, went all the way down to flyweight, and but made that so. About 5'10", 125 pounds.
How about Michelle Pereira doing a backflip off the scale?
Really?
Yeah, he did it.
And he didn't really land it. He fell backwards. And
I thought he got
back.
hurt.
And, dude,
he played it off perfect though. He played it off perfect because he did he went to where he did the backflip and then rolled on his back and then did the kick up and then the kick up again or whatever. So it looked like.
Why? Like, why are you doing that? But listen, what was my breakdown for the fight? That I think he's the better fighter, but Nico Price can bring the crazy out of him.
I'll tell you what, that's not a good sign for him. Hopefully, it's done at the weigh-ins and he fights the fight a little measured because if he's doing those cartwheels and stuff all fight, I don't know.
It is crazy. And listen, I think Michelle Pereira is the tougher fighter. But I think Nico Price is the tougher person. Nico Price will take a beating.
Nico had the biggest. I mean, I've never seen someone so happy in my entire life than Nico walking up to Michelle Pereira. Just, I mean, the biggest grin on his face. Like, couldn't wait to get going.
Well, there's me trying to go live on the chat over there.
Unreal.
Angelo, what kind of ads did you sign up for here? What was that?
Here, Jesse's got a question. Jesse said, "Will Burns Thompson go the distance?" Personally, I think so. I think, if it doesn't go the distance is because maybe Burns' power or submission ability. But I think Thompson just keeps him at bay, has that karate style, picks him apart from the outside, and just touches him up and frustrates him.
It comes down to who do you think is going to win. If you think Burns is going to win, it's going to be inside the distance probably. And if you think, Wonderboy is going to win, then it's probably going to be a decision win. So.
Here we go. So Mr. Savage level 9,000 chiming in on the Michelle Pereira backflip. So you're saying he hurt his hip. Do you know that, or he just limped, or did somebody say that? I mean, I picked Nico to win. What did he say?
He didn't look like he was hurt.
Dude, but that was one of those things where the way he fell back, you're right, he probably wasn't injured, but, dude, I don't know. It looked like he definitely could have bruised. I don't know.
Well, and you're not stretched.
I'm watching the replay right now. Let me see if I see anything. Because these are the things that I would see. I would pick up on this.
Well, I
mean, he did back
winning,
handspring to stand up, so he couldn't have been that hurt. But That's one of those things where you're like, oh, after you start walking it off, you're like, oh man, my back's a little tweaked.
He started bouncing around right before he shook Dana's hand. So maybe he was trying to shake something out.
Yeah. Christian Rodriguez, is Conor going to win in round 2? If Conor wins, it's round 1 or 2, maybe 3. So 2 is a possibility. I think that percentage probably goes down every round. So I would say, 1 or 2 is probably your best odds for Conor.
Yeah, I think 1 and 2 are really the extent of Conor's. I could be. I mean, I've been wrong before on him with the Diaz-2 fight. I just didn't see how he was gonna come back, and he did, but he did get tired in that fight. So I just don't think he'll be able to get away with even that level of a comeback with Poirier. I truly just don't think it was enough time for him to get prepared, conditioning wise and skill wise, other than that first round knockout. Like, I just don't see him. But by the way, that could happen. Could happen. I just don't think it will.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. I listen. I have Conor winning the fight. I just think after watching that first fight again, he hit him whenever he wanted to hit him, and he hit him hard. But Dustin's tough as hell, and he took it. So it's definitely interesting. But I think Conor wins. And honestly, all this trash talk this week, the wife's Instagram thing, I think that only helps. It can't hurt.
The big question is, do they shake hands? I don't know if Angelo cut me off on our second betting segment earlier, but I got a bet in there at plus 400. They do not shake hands. Jake, you got it too, right?
Oh, I took it as well. Yeah,
I
think we talked about it, and we talked about it in our text. But I definitely think that Dustin is going to offer.
What's it at now? What's it at now?
Yeah, because I honestly think that Dustin has no hard feelings about anything. So I think he'll offer, but I think Conor might. And this is going to be interesting too, is how they score it. Because what if Conor slaps his hands away? They touch gloves, right? Does it have to be like a nice? Because I think it's going to be an offer, and Conor like slaps his hands away. Is my prediction. So I don't know how they would. I don't know how they would score that.
I went to go grab that at the plus 400 you guys did, and especially after the wife Instagram thing. It's minus money now.
That they don't shake hands?
Yeah.
Oh, man. People must hammer that. Me and Jake put $1 million each on it.
Here, let's just, before I try to find that one, let's go through some of these prop bets. Some of these are really funny. Any of you just chiming in now? We're on, we went to We Want
here, and let me touch on the wife thing too real quick, because it's interesting because we're talking about is Dustin mad or not. In the interview with Bisping, he said, Poirier straight up said, if it was real, I would be upset, but I'm pretty sure it's fake. And it turns out it is definitely not fake.
It's funny.
How do you know it's not fake? I have no idea. I have no idea.
Because Conor did a screen record of him going into the app and stuff and like showing the actual message. But Poirier said, like, I'm pretty sure it's fabricated, but yeah, he said something like I would be upset if it was real or something like that. And I mean, it is very real. So, but
that's a weird thing to say. I'm pretty sure it's fake. You didn't, like, as soon as that was out, I'd be like, Tiffany, what the hell is this?
Yeah. And he said when it came out, me and whatever his wife's name is, were laughing about it in the grocery store. But I'm sure in the back of her head, she was like, oh shit.
Well, there's no way. There's just no way. She's like, ooh, Conor, and like sending him DMs. There's no way.
I mean, it could have been from years ago.
Well, that's true. And honestly,
he could have stored that in his back pocket. It could have been like, from when they were all like, everyone was happy and they were donating to each other's charity.
Yeah. Because the easy response from Dustin would have been, yeah, she messaged him. This is what she said. But there's been none of that.
Yeah, that is.
It was more like, I think it's fabricated. So it's like, okay.
And maybe Dan's right. Maybe it is so old, and he was just happened to check his DMs and saw it there. He must get it 10,000 a day. How did he even find that one? And there was were there other? Yeah, there were other ones.
Dude, she's been with him through thick and thin since like day one. Like, this is not like she's new on the scene. Like, dude, listen to his interviews. He talks about it. Like, she was with him back when he was like fighting in small shows. Didn't know if he was going to make it. Like,
well, that's the same with
I doubt there was anything like that.
I agree. There's no way she messaged him because it's Conor and he's hot and whatever. There's no way.
It's Conor playing mental game. To be honest, my take on that whole thing is I know it's fun for everyone to watch and everyone enjoys it. And like, it is crazy. It's definitely, somebody wrote in here, emotions are real. And they're, Jesse, yeah, you wrote emotions are real. It is legit. I mean, you hear the fans, they're booing you, you know, he's shouting you down, insulting your wife. And it's like, it's tough to not let that get to you.
I saw a great comment too that said, could you imagine if someone has ever said anything about D, Connor's wife, how unbelievably irate he would get if somebody started just trashing.
Yeah, he would lose
like
his
that.
mind.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, he would go crazy. Look at what he did when they just slapped Artem. The guy flew across the country and threw a dolly through a van. If you start insulting his wife or his kids or something, oh my
Artem.
God.
Jesse said, is it true Conor did not bring his family? Yeah, that is true. Because he's like, I need to be here and fight and keep my head clear and not worry about anything else. So real quick, I went to we1picks.com/bets, jumped into Bet Online, pulled up some of the crazy props here. So here's some of the fun props.
So explain this to everybody real quick. You go to we1picks.com/bets, and then it goes through our link into Bet Online, which is our favorite site.
Yeah, you grab
MMA betting.
Grab whatever promotion you want. Some will give you match, some sports book if you already have. So there's a few different options. You grab one of the options. After you sign up, let us know, and we'll send you $20 as a thank you for the support. So that's where we are now. Here's a couple. Fight ends in the first minute. That's a big no, right? Minus 1,400, which is logical. First successful takedown. These are still normal props till we get to the crazy ones. First successful takedown, Dustin minus 600. I'm not going to play that, right? But that is a very logical one. Will McGregor be credited with a takedown? No is minus 500, which, right, we agree that's just not going to happen. Poirier takedown, yes.
I hit that yesterday too. That was the other one I hit yesterday at minus 115.
Yeah, it's minus 150 now. I threw a couple bucks on that before we jumped on here. First successful knockdown.
I don't know if Dustin can take Conor down if Conor is ready for the takedowns. I think Conor's a lot more worried about the takedowns this time than he was last time. I don't think he expected that shot from Dustin, and he got tripped up, obviously. But Conor's got a pretty good takedown defense. So even if Dustin catches him, especially against the cage, it's he was even stuffing Khabib's takedown. So,
but you gotta understand that's a fight that he literally probably only trained takedown defense for 6 months.
I think that he knows that's one of Dustin's easiest paths to victory in this fight. So,
but I also think you got to worry about a lot of other things with Poirier that he thought he didn't need to worry about with Khabib.
Yeah, and honestly, this is going to sound like I'm way off. Khabib's takedowns are sloppy. The reason he's such a dominant wrestler is he shoots a takedown, which is sloppy, and then immediately another, and he just keeps moving forward, chain wrestling. But his takedowns are sloppy. Ilia Quintas stuffed more than half of them. And the problem is once he gets one, that's it.
Ilia Quintas is one of the best fighters on the roster.
Also one of the best real estate agents on the roster.
Chael Sonnen was the best real estate agent of all time.
Was he really real?
And they're both two of the funniest guys too. Ilia Quintas Twitter for a while, it was very, very funny.
Yeah, he is funny. And Chael Sonnen lost his real estate license for shady commission dealings. They were doing like illegal side deals on commission.
Allegedly.
Yeah. No, he admitted it. That's why he lost his license. So here we go. First successful takedown or knockdown. I didn't touch that. Will McGregor be credited with a knockdown? Even money. I don't know. Did he get a knockdown last fight?
No.
So probably not, unless you think he wins the fight.
Yeah, even money's crazy. I think I would even maybe play the no there. Dustin's tough, man. Dustin's tough.
Right, I'm just trying to think. When's the last time Dustin's been knocked down?
Did Gagey knock him down? Wasn't Gagey lighting him up and then got tired?
They were both lighting each other up, but they were like zombies hitting each other.
I didn't realize. I thought that Dustin like beat the hell out of Max. But that was a lot close. Max actually outstruck him like 200, like 170 that fight. I thought I remember like Dustin just completely controlling it. But even when they showed
Dustin did dominate that fight though, because he was landing the bigger shot, heavier shots the entire fight.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that was almost where you realize Dustin at 155 is a different animal than he was at 145. That was the fight.
Like, think about that. He walked down Max Holloway, who arguably put up one of the craziest performances ever against
Calvin.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's been around this week. I forgot how fun Max Holloway is, man. He was doing stuff with DC today on that pre-weigh-in show. Dude, he's so funny. And them together is perfect because they're real good friends. And the craziest part is seeing them next to each other because Holloway's like 3 inches taller and looks just as big. And one was the 145 champ and the other one was a 265 champ. It's crazy.
The fight's tomorrow, Danima. Not you, Dan. Dan.
Jacob, someone thanked you for getting Glover on the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
David
That's
Ramon,
definitely-
baby.
David Ramon. David Ramon's like a very
Is that David? Oh, there you go. Okay.
very supportive with a little touch of troll in him. And he's just trolling. Good for him.
Jacob's going to hit up Cormier for, I think, the next card, right? Cormier, that's who you got lined up next?
No, you know who I'm about to hit up after watching that pre-show. He is.
Here we go.
Is
This
it Lauren
is gonna take a
Sanko? Is
turn.
that her name?
Yeah. She's a fighter, isn't she?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
She's fighting for my love every day.
Oh, my God.
All right.
I
The
can't
Lauren,
wait to
if
go
you-
to
Lauren,
a
if
live
you're-
UFC
Lauren, if
event
you're in the
with you guys
chat.
and just keep in my pocket like all these clips of Jacob and just show them to people when they when we see them.
Well, I told you we're going to Abu Dhabi, and Glover's going to introduce me.
Guys,
down
I'm serious. I'm ready to
Amanda,
go. Let's book these flights to Abu Dhabi. Like,
You
I'm,
guys go. I will stay here. I'll go to Vegas. Vegas is about as far as I go. I'll go to Vegas.
dude, Abu Dhabi, Glover for the title. Once in a lifetime trip. I might book
I'm in
my flight right
Connecticut.
now and just, you know what? Whoever's
Share your
going.
screen, Dan, and let's book it.
Okay.
The Glover fight is in.
You want to
Abu
book it
Dhabi.
together, Jacob?
That's why Dan keeps
Try to
saying
call
he's
my
not
bluff right now.
Jacob can't handle it. Jacob, dude.
Look at him. He's like
honestly, I
biting
think
his lip. He's biting his lip right now. He's moving all weird.
No,
Jacob-
honestly, I think I was considering it, but all the the COVID stuff. Do you have to quarantine? Like, how early do you have to be there? Because I think they make you quarantine over there. I don't know for how long.
I
thought it was
don't
like
think
48
so.
hours.
I don't think so. I think I have no idea. to
I'm
be
pretty
honest,
sure
but-
you have to get over there and they make you quarantine for at least like 24 hours. Every time the fighters went over there for embedded, they had to quarantine for, I think it was,
Yeah, but that was Jacob. That was like how long ago? Before everyone had vaccines and
now
everything
they
was
got the
different?
new variant and stuff. People are cracking down again. So that's the only thing I would worry about.
Yeah, look at Jacob with the excuses already. First of all,
I mean, that was a quick excuse. I think you made it all up, but
Dan,
No,
when I
that's the only thing
lived
I
in
think about.
can
when I lived
someone in the
thing-
live chat just verify that Jacob is wrong and that I do not need to quarantine when I go to Abu Dhabi?
That's the only thing that would stop me. And you know the money's not an issue. I'll tell you that. The way my
Jacob
bet's
can't
been
try.
going-
Dude, Jacob's the worst. When I lived in Texas and Jacob lived in Florida and he visited for like 36 hours, he checked a bag and I had to sit at the airport in the parking lot for
It's free check
45 minutes for his bag.
It's free check
Such a
back.
rookie move.
It's free check
Jill,
back.
the Nick Newell movie comes out August 6th. So next month, basically a full month. Anybody watch that trailer? Did you guys all watch that Nick Newell trailer? So it's based on his life. Like they ran the script by us.
Inspired by is what it says.
Yeah, and this is what I'm getting in. So like most of it is accurate. Like the steps are accurate. He wrestled, went from wrestling to fighting. His best friend won the contract. His best friend dies. Nick gets a contract, so on and so forth. But some of the other stuff is a little, it's obviously a movie, and that actually has Nick in kind of a weird spot because he's like, I want to promote the movie. I want it to do well, and it's an awesome entertaining because he's seen it. I haven't. It's an awesome, entertaining movie, but it makes certain people in my family look bad, even though they weren't. So I have not seen the movie yet. Nick is like, listen, it's an awesome movie, but it's weird for me. But that comes out August 6th.
That's that weird Hollywood stuff, man. That would be so awkward if someone made a movie about me and then they just added in things that were fictional or just fabricated, and you're like, wait a minute, what? I didn't agree to that. But I guess you do agree to all of it when you sign.
Oh, yeah. We
basically
did
sign
this-
up that they can do whatever they want to, make it a Hollywood, dramatic movie that might not even be fully true.
Well, and we signed that contract like 3 years ago, before the Gagey fight. It just took this long to actually happen. So, and the movie, the character's name is Nick Newell. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's not like blood sport is kind of based off of somebody. So Christian Rodriguez said, who's the better DK play, Gilbert or Greg Hardy? Oh,
That's
a really hard question. I don't like either one. That's a hard question.
My opinion, Gilbert.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
because think about it, like even in a loss, I don't think he's going to get put away. It'll be 3 rounds. He'll get some points. And while there's a lot of ups, it depends what type of, if you're playing in a tournament, I think Gilbert Burns is the better play because there's a lot of people who think he's going to win this fight. I'm kind of leaning that way. It's so tough to bet against Thompson because he's like a Rubik's Cube. He's just a tough guy to figure out. But Hardy, unless he gets that first round knockout, I think he's going to get blown. I think he's going to get pieced up and knocked out himself. So I would go with Burns.
So let's that is hard. I would go Burns as well, unless like Greg Hardy's only chance is an early knockout, and I just don't think he'll get it because Tuivasa's head is just rock hard.
Eric Gonzalez, yes, Zumagulov is a good pick. Heavy favorite, so it's a tough one to bet.
Expensive, yeah.
But I think he's going to dominate that fight. He's training down at ATT now too, and he's definitely getting good. He's been good, but he's getting really good.
He's going to have trouble with the length.
Yeah, let's hammer out some of these other props. The first person to bleed, Conor McGregor's plus money. Dustin is minus money. Does Dustin
Not
bleed
first
easy?
person. It's will they bleed.
Dude, read the screen. First to bleed. Absolute moron.
By the way, Jacob, Sean did confirm you don't need to quarantine. Variants are no threat to vaccinated people.
Oh, thank God.
So, ready to book whenever you are, kid.
Yeah. We saw what happened when he moved apartments, which was literally 2 blocks away. He started packing a month early. If you're going to Abu Dhabi, I can't imagine what that's going to be like. All right. First to bleed. You guys think Conor or Dustin? Conor's plus money. Dustin's minus 175.
I would say Conor.
First to bleed.
Does Dustin bleed easy? I don't.
No, I just think they're probably going off the first round of the last fight where McGregor was landing more shots, and he tends to be like that's his sharpest. That's his sharpest round, right? That's when he's crisp. He's got pop in his shots.
All right. Will McGregor bleed at all? Minus 230 for no. I think yes at plus 190, and I grabbed that.
Wow.
I literally was just throwing a couple dollars at these, just a little.
Wow, plus 190 on yes.
Almost 2-1 to say that Conor will bleed.
You said you put 20 units on that?
I said a couple of bucks.
That's 20 units?
I was like, dude.
I actually like that Will McGregor bleed plus 190, huh?
Yeah.
I might jump on that. He's
definitely going to bleed, even in a win. Unless he just absolutely starches Poirier.
Which is what he's going to
do. Will Poirier bleed? Yes is plus money. How is it plus money that you could just play yes on both and they hit each other a few times? You're good. Will either fighter bleed? Yes is minus 200. How weird is that?
Yeah,
yes,
I know. I don't.
That math doesn't work for them. The house is usually never wrong, but they're wrong here. Will either be knocked or submitted unconscious. Dude, yes is only plus 250.
Not unconscious. This is TKOs. I don't think people knock people unconscious.
No, I think that's specifically unconscious. I don't even know.
Conor
is specifically unconscious, but Jacob's saying it's just not going to happen.
Unconscious? There's no way. Conor gets submitted, he'll tap, and then nobody's gonna like unconscious knock somebody out. They're just gonna TKO him.
That's why I'm saying it's crazy. It's only plus 250 and not plus 1,000.
Like probably 375.
More strikes landed, Conor or Dustin? I would have to. Oh man, that's a hard one. This all just comes down to who you think wins. It's my internet. Will McGregor put his hands behind his back in the fight? That's a good one because he does do that, but I think he's too focused on this one.
Yeah, there's no way. Not unless he's really, really running through him. Like really
Starting to
having
get
hurt.
into a groove, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and I
the
still
no
don't
is
think
big minus money. Length of Bruce Buffer's introduction. Minus 150 for over 167.5 seconds.
You have to time the last one and just bet on that.
It's like 2.5 minutes is minus 150. I don't know how long an intro is. McGregor drop an F-bomb in the Octagon interview. Yes, plus 100. No, minus 140. Probably not. He does pull it together even after, wins or losses. And then which part of McGregor will bleed first?
these are like the Floyd Mayweather props.
Nose.
What's funny is there's no which part of Poirier will bleed first. Only which part of McGregor.
That's odd.
Bay noticed chiming in on Jacob's flip-flop earlier.
Wow.
There's no flip-flop.
What happened there,
No,
Jacob?
I
You
sent
very
you.
adamant.
I sent you before you guys did the video that I was going back with Conor. I said Conor is my pick.
Dude, I said send your final lineups.
Because I
Dan and
watched
I are
the
filming.
weigh-ins and I saw how sucked out Dustin looked, so I went with Conor. And then
I have
published
this.
the wrong
Should
lineup.
I pull up our text trail?
I didn't send you a new lineup, but I told you in the text that I'm going back with Conor.
You justified your flip-flop too. This way, if he loses,
After that, I said I'm going back with Conor.
so it was just a 10-minute flop.
It
is
was
what
he got his haircut on embedded, and everyone knows if you get your haircut on embedded that you're gonna lose, except for there is a loophole that if you have to be
I
in
knew
a
he was going to go
barbershop-
on this embedded
No,
rant.
I'm telling you,
Haircut
there is a
thing.
loophole. This is real stuff. This is not I'm not just making it up. I mean, there's a loophole that if you're in a barbershop, that's when it counts. So if you do it like some people get in their hotel room, I don't think that counts. He was at the gym getting his haircut, so I don't think that counts. So I went back with Conor. He's gonna, first round KO, very easy.
Well, so real quick, Jesse said, did they remove the touch glove?
Yeah, you
They
didn't see that.
did. It's gone. And
It's gone, or it's at plus. I thought it was
gone. It's gone.
at. Wow.
I guarantee the money came pouring in, so they yanked
Well,
it.
they maxed your bet on that. I tried.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I tried to get what I could.
Yeah, I did as well.
Well, because
It wasn't crazy.
Yeah, it was,
amount.
I just kept hitting the zeros. They wouldn't let me hit any more zeros. So.
I took a look at it a couple of hours ago, and it was plus 150. I'm like, yeah, minus 150. So I was like, I'm not doing it for minus 150.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it must have just been that Instagram post must have come out, and then they must have gotten hammered. So they're like, all right, take that off.
That's exactly the second I saw that is when I bet that.
Yeah.
I still think Dustin's going to offer, and Conor might just out of habit just glove touch. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a chance that could happen, but I mean,
I honestly think
there
that
were a
Conor
lot of
in the
weird
la-
things
like
said in this
know.
build up. Not that he has to be angry about it, but like you don't need to touch gloves at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
it's serious.
Here, Mr. Savage said, is Zumagulov striking or grappling?
He's a bum.
Wow, that's a bold statement, Jacob. I think you're totally wrong on that.
Well, I have Rivera winning.
Yeah, I mean that's you're probably one of a few people.
There's nobody tougher than a 5'10", 125-pound man. I can tell you that right now. Nobody's got more heart.
Jacob is talking about
Nobody's got
himself
more
right now.
technique. Nobody's got more willpower or anything than a 5'10", 125-pound man, and that is what Jerome Rivera is.
So
the
to answer his
answer
question,
is
you go ahead, Jake. Go ahead, Angelo, and I'll chime in afterwards.
I was just going to say the answer is wrestler. He's a very good wrestler. He likes to close the distance. And he does have power in his hands, but the hands are really to set up the wrestling. I'm sure American Top Team's working on that, but wrestling is his primary base. He's going to look to get it to the ground, and I imagine he will, and he'll dominate there.
I would also add to that. I think he's also a very good striker, underrated striker. He's got a lot of good combos to the body, and he actually throws one of my favorite shots. That lead right hand, that naked right hand, just blast that right through. So I think he's a good striker, good wrestler. I think in this fight, yeah, he probably will try to get it to the ground, but I also think he's going to be throwing a lot of hooks,
looking to get to the body and looking to close the distance and land a big shot against Jerome Rivera. So
he's going to struggle with the length on the ground. I'm telling you, Jerome is a submission guy. He's going to struggle with those.
I don't know
legs.
that he needs to take it to the ground, to be honest. I think if he closes the distance, I think his striking will win the fight.
He's just not an aggressive. He's just like a point striker. I
don't agree. I don't think so.
It's so weird that you're this high on Rivera. I mean, Rivera's like 3 losses in a row, which that's fine. I mean,
going up in weight, he just struggled with the power when he went up in weight.
He basically should be 4 losses in a row because his last win I thought was a robbery.
Oh, Zhumagulov's last fight?
No, Jerome Rivera's last win.
Zhumagulov's last fight, he lost against Amir Albazi. And first of all, Amir Albazi's tough. And I don't know, I was impressed the way he fought that fight. He knew he was down. He got taken down a bunch of times. But in that 3rd round, man, he was going for it. There's like, some guys, you're down in the 3rd round and some you're like shooting takedowns or like whatever. He was just going for it, chasing him down, throwing bombs. He didn't get the win, but I don't know. I like that attitude.
Yeah, this guy hasn't even won in the UFC, and you guys are acting like he's a lock.
Anyways,
Jacob, would you like
see
to
what
ride
happens.
that?
Yeah. What's that?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. I've had a couple people ask what time the fight start. I don't know what time zone you're in, but the main pay-per-view starts at 10 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Central. So I don't know where 7 p.m. Pacific.
You gonna give me 3-1 on Rivera? Zhumagulov's is at minus 350 right now.
I mean, you're very confident. You're very confident.
20 to 60. Rivera, Zhumagulov.
Eric Gonzalez says,
"Oh, look who's just running by the bet now."
I'll bet you with the actual odds that exist. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm giving you even better odds than what exist. He's a minus 375. I'm giving you 3-1, 20 to 60.
How is 3-1 better for me if he's minus 275?
375.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said 275.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I'll bet you 3-1.
Quick cover over your.
Jeez, Angelo, you're taking his first. I was going to say 2-1 and probably get him to take that.
No, I'll take it because he won't take it and then he's going to look stupid. So now he has to. So I'll take it.
20 to 60. 20 if you win, 60 if I win.
Okay. It's 3-1. Fine by me.
Yeah, well, okay. Well,
all right. It's a bet.
It's a bet.
Official.
Done.
Here we go.
Virtual handshake.
We betting DraftKings lineups, Jacob? Yours is horrendous. So I've
got 8 of them in a multi-league. You can bet
Mr.
against
Savage, where you live at in Florida? Where can I watch this for free? My brother will give you like 17
Reddit.
different streaming links.
Go to Reddit and good luck.
Yeah, the problem with watching it for free is those feeds get taken down halfway through.
It's always at the worst time, dude. I was watching, allegedly, I had a friend that was watching like I think it was like the Jake Paul one or something, one of them, and it literally is like the last round. All of a sudden, just the stream drops. You're like, what the hell's going on here,
dude? It's funny because I was just Dana White's all like talking about, and I bought into it, and it doesn't matter. But Dana White's like, this is the most pre-ordered fight in history. Like, order it now. If you know you're watching this fight on Saturday, order it now. I don't want 3 million people at the exact same time trying to order through the app. And I ordered the Jake Paul Mayweather fight, and that was an absolute disaster. Like
I had to get
your refund though.
I
got my
stream
refund
too. Yeah.
I got a refund, but I didn't want a refund. I want to, you know what I mean? I wanted to watch the fight. So anyway, that actually scared me into being like, you know what? Let me order it. I know I'm going to watch it. Why wouldn't I order it ahead of time? So I'm good to go. So I actually already ordered.
That's fucking illegal.
Dude, remember when he went on that whole rant? He was literally talking about one guy specifically. He's like, I know who you are. And if you do it, we're going to get you. It was like, and then the following press conference, he's like, the guy smartened up, and I guess he backed off and like, I don't even know what he did. Apologize.
All Dana's like tweet replies were so funny after that because they'd be like, every time Dana would tweet anything, somebody would reply with like, hey, streaming at my house illegally. Anyone's welcome to come over. Just all these like troll accounts and stuff. So funny.
Yeah.
The funniest thing that came out of that is you said Khabib was
was sitting right next to Dana during one of the fights, was live streaming the entire card on Instagram or something. He was just sitting there streaming. They're like, "That's your guy, Dana. He's sitting right next to you. He's the live streaming guy."
Here, let's look at some Monkey Knife Fight. I love the new knockout game. Love it. So
yeah, did you explain that? I wouldn't hear. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so the knockout game, it's right here, Knockout Kings. They've adjusted the payouts. So they actually messaged us earlier today saying we had to lower the payouts for this fight because, and one of you has the volume on of the stream, and I hear myself echoing. Dan.
I don't.
Jacob.
It's not me. I haven't touched anything. It's been like the same thing the whole time.
Well, I've been hearing it. But anyway, so you see here, if you get one, it's 1.1 payout. So your profit will be 10%. You'll get a 10% profit. It used to be 25%. But for this specific card, they had to lower it because all you need to do is double up the main and grab Sean O'Malley, and you're guaranteed a stoppage. So they had to lower it for this card. So anyway, the only thing you need to do is sorry, I'm looking at the chat at the same time, which I probably shouldn't do. The only thing you need to do is pick 3 fighters. So let's do this together, guys. And let's not double up the main. That's too easy. We'll each pick one. Dan.
Oh, that's easy because Dustin could win by submission or something too. It's not like he's only knockouts.
I agree.
I would go like Ty,
We'll each do one. Who do you want? You want Ty?
No, I don't want Ty. I don't think he's going to win. If I was going to do, I would play both of them if I was going to do it.
Okay,
but I don't want to pick one, and then you guys don't pick the other one. Now I'm stuck with Greg Hardy.
Right, who do you think? Pick somebody. Who do you think? It's knockouts or TKOs, not submissions. Jill, 100% yes, and we'll touch on that in a second. I have an awesome fight, which I think fantasy points would be great. Jacob,
it would have to be O'Malley.
All right, so you're going O'Malley,
but that's a boring pick.
It's just about making money. It's not about being exciting.
If I was playing all 3, I'd pick O'Malley and then Ty and Greg Hardy. And
you would double up the Hardy fight over the main event?
Yes, hell yes.
I think there's more of a chance that Conor or Dustin knock each other out than and I do think Ty knocks out Greg Hardy, but they could also just be fat heavyweights that do nothing. Dan, what's your pick?
Okay, so if O'Malley's taken, I'll go with
Ryan Hall head kick.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I want to say Ty, but all right, since we're doing non-boring picks here, let's go with.
I did a boring pick.
Let me go with my. I'm going to go with Poirier, which is like a semi-boring pick because I think we know that. If I was going to pick anybody, like for the sake of not being boring, I would say Ilia Topuria.
You go to Poirier, and I'll
just to piss off all the crazy Ryan Hall fans.
And anybody who's watched I've done 2 of these already. One in the How to Do Monkey Knife Fight, I did the knockout game, and the other one, Dan and I earlier today, we doubled up the main event and did Sean O'Malley. So I'm not going to do that in this one. I will definitely Ty. If not Ty, man. Yeah, it's got to be Ty. Because we're looking for guaranteed knockouts. I mean, maybe. I mean, Jessica.
You could go Pajeda. Pajeda would be an interesting.
I was going to go Pajeda. I was hovering over it. I was about to click it. I just think Pajeda's not a bad pick for this game because.
Or Plessis. I mean, Plessis is kind of a wild card as well. And that was one of the interesting face-offs at the ceremonial weigh-in. That was probably one of the best face-offs. They really got in each other's faces.
Plessis got a good chance of getting a knockout, but he also has a good chance of Giles just jabbing him and trying to keep him at distance.
Or winning by submission. I mean,
Trevin Giles said he has the best jab in the UFC.
Which is so funny because that's like he's like jumping out in front of like, I'm prepared for some boring. I'm going to keep at the end of my jab this whole fight. So anyway, you pick 3, and then all I have to do is determine how much money, how much risk I want to absorb. So if I just need one of these three or any three to win by TKO or knockout, and I'll win 10% profit. 2, 50%. All three, I 4 times my money. I would not do that. If I was confident in 3, I would just place an actual.
You have to pick which one you're going to go for?
Yes. It doesn't just default to a lower one. That'd be too easy. Then that is a guarantee.
Right.
So, yeah. You
What's
gotta
the max bet you can do on the one?
I would play the heavyweights with Sean O'Malley and play the 1.5 goal. I would say Sean O'Malley's going to get 1, and then the heavyweights are going to knock each other out, and there's your 2.
Well, I did the main event and Sean O'Malley, and I almost maxed it out at 100, and then I got cold feet, so I maxed it out at 50. I did 50. But
you want to play the 1.5 on?
I did do the 1.5 on it.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the like I said, these are lower than usual. They've lowered it for this card because Sean O'Malley's a guarantee. The main event is pretty much a guarantee. So they literally messaged us and said we have to lower the payouts for Knockout Kings for this week until they make some changes. So
it would be. I love Sean O'Malley, and obviously he should win. But it would be awesome if that dude somehow starts Sean O'Malley, just because he's like, even like during the ceremonial weigh-ins,
anything can happen. That dude's just so hittable from what I've seen on tape.
But even during the ceremonial weigh-ins and stuff, you could tell it's like he's like, "Where do I go?" He's like, "Oh, hey Dana." It's like he just like has no idea. It's almost like he has no idea what's going on. If he just came across and just starched him, he'd just be like, "Oh, it'd be awesome."
I put a small bet on there. I mean, plus 600. I put a quarter of a unit. Why not?
Plus 600 on a win?
Yeah. So Jill asked, do you ever do the fantasy points on Monkey Knife Fight? So yes, and this is a fight that I did the fantasy points on. So anybody watching, if you don't know, Monkey Knife Fight, it's daily fantasy prop games. It is literally, I say this all the time, and I know we have a partnership with them, but I promise you, this is the easiest way to make money watching fights. Way easier than bets, way easier than DraftKings. You can't even compare this to DraftKings. All I need to do is go more or less on these strike lines, and that's it. So this is saying Brad Tavares, 74.5, Amari Makhmedov, 64.5, and I just have to do more or less, and I triple my money if I'm right. Jill asked about the fantasy points, so let's do the fantasy points. The reason I picked this fight is because I'm hammering the more. Because Brad Tavares will defend takedowns. He has phenomenal takedown defense. And with this scoring system, this is the FanDuel scoring system. Takedowns defended are 3 points. And he's definitely going to defend some takedowns. So we'll just go through this quick. A significant strike is 0.6 points. A knockdown is 12. I don't see that. A takedown is 6. Takedowns defended 3. Submission attempt 5. And then here's your individual round wins. So the reason I'm going to do them more is Brad Tavares is typically busy, so that's a lot of significant strikes there. And Amari Makhmedov, and he's going to defend takedowns. That's 3 points for every takedown he defends. Amari Makhmedov's a relentless wrestler. He's not going to get all of his takedowns, so a bunch will be defended on the Brad side, and Amari Makhmedov's going to get 6 points for the ones that he does yet. So I love the more on this. So there's the long-winded answer to your question, Jill. I'm going to lock in another 20. I've already played this a few times. So, Danny, I couldn't tell if you were agreeing or disagreeing or what.
I don't know. That was a tough one.
Why?
Because if Amari does get his takedowns, which I think he will early, and I think he'll get them, but I think Tavares will get up. So that would not be a point, right? That would you wouldn't get points. You would get Akhmedov will get the points. Tavares doesn't get points for getting up from the takedowns, right?
Tomorrow. Correct. No, somebody asked if the fight's today, and I said it was tomorrow. No, you're right. I mean, that's obviously a possibility.
I don't know. That was a tough one. I mean, if you get like a third round stoppage, I think that helps, but. Yeah, I don't know. I got to look at those numbers more closely to give an educated answer.
Hawaiian tough, baby. Hawaiian tough.
He is. Who are you saying you hope wins, Mr. Savage? I keep clicking the wrong button. But I'm super pumped, man. Obviously, we get excited for all the fights every week, but these ones got me excited. So we're not going to be live streaming for the fights, but I will do a live stream early in the day to go through lineups and everything like that to get questions out of the way and prepare everybody. But the fights we're just going to watch per Jacob's request, just watching, no working. And he lives. So you guys are trying to figure out where Nico Price lives. He lives.
I already said Fort Myers, right?
Cape Coral. Cape Coral. Yeah, it's north of Fort Myers. And he was training at American Top Team Cape Coral. Then they had a falling out, and then he was training in that same general area. But now he's all the way on your side of the state, Dan, training at MMA Masters
with Colby. He's Colby's guy now.
I mean, it's a 2.5-hour drive, so I don't think he moved, but maybe he did.
Because they asked him about Colby. They were like, is that, the persona? Or he's like, Colby's the nicest guy I've ever met. And everyone's like, well, Colby probably doesn't like you saying that, honestly.
No, Colby's
a good dude. Colby.
I know, but he wants to live that persona so bad.
No, but he's very open that it's I was just going to say, and Dan knows him personally and trained with him forever. But real quick before I let you go, Dan, I watched the Brendan Schaub has that food truck diaries thing. He had Kobe on there. Kobe straight up was like, yeah, it's all fake. This is not who I am. This is not how I feel. And he like went on about it. Like he was very open about the persona and then was like, you know, what's really hard? He's like, people in my life that I grew up with and family members don't talk to me because of my persona, not because of me that they've known my whole life. It's the fake me and they don't talk to me anymore.
Dude, Colby Covington in the gym I started training him when he came to American Top Team. Good dude. He was actually a quiet dude for a lot of years. Just worked hard, just competitor. Had a chip on his shoulder, but competitively. You know what I mean? Like if he couldn't get a takedown, he'd keep going. Like he was just a tough guy, but he was very quiet for a lot of years. People don't really know the whole story there. The UFC basically told him, from what I heard, after he, I forget who he beat, and they're like. And again, there may be, this is, telephone almost, but to summarize it, they basically said, hey, good win, but we're going to cut you. Like, you're not exciting. Your style is boring.
I think it was when not to interrupt, I think it was when he was going to Brazil to fight Damian Maia. They said, even if you win, we're still going to cut you because you just.
Well, no, I don't even think it was even if they win. I think they were just like they were basically said they were done with him. He wasn't going to get more money. He was boring. And then that's when he went. And dude, think about it. If you give someone Damian Maia in Brazil, what do you think? Like, like you're not hoping he wins. You know what I mean? So they were probably hoping he lost and they could either cut him or whatever, cut his pay. And then he took the microphone and went full heel. And he has gone hard with that persona for a while. But dude, listen, love him or hate him, it's got him title shots, it's got him money, it's got him a lot of things. And whether you agree with it or not, that's the fact of the matter. It got him a lot. Dude, he went from being potentially cut from the UFC to getting a title shot.
Just sitting in hot tubs with all the girls for mybookie.ag.
Dude, some of those videos, it's so funny how people can't like again, in real life, he is the nicest guy ever, dude. I ran into him before he left ATT. I ran into him. We were talking. He's like, I was like, oh, man, congratulations. And he's like, oh, thank you so much. Like, you helped me out so much in the beginning. Like, dude, he's a very nice, humble guy. And then he goes and does these videos that are absolutely hilarious.
The nicknames are great. I think I sent you the list of all the nicknames he's given everyone. He's coming up with some good ones.
Yeah, but then he will occasionally really cross some lines where I'm like, oh, man, I could see how this would be tough to go back to the gym after some of the things he said.
Isn't that why they established the Kobe Covington rule because he was shitting on his own teammates?
Yeah, he was just trying to get for no reason. He went after Dustin this week and leaked that video of Dustin KOing the amateur guy without the headgear on and stuff. Colby's the one that leaked that to for whatever. I don't know why he's trying to go at Dustin. I guess it's just because of one of those.
They didn't get it. They had a falling out way earlier at the gym. A lot of people had big problems with what he was doing at the gym, and some of them honestly, rightfully. I mean, it was almost like you go heel and you do the funny videos, but then
certain people, like he was really saying some
Personal stuff.
some crazy personal stuff. Yeah,
well, he
so
was
it's
like Joanna. It's like, oh my god, dude. Real quick,
Eric Gonzalez has a question.
Eric,
Any
what's up, man?
fighters you guys think might pull up an upset? Ryan Hall is the lock of the week.
No, don't
He
listen
will
to that.
find a way. Listen, I think Ilia is like alluding, like he's not scared of Ryan Hall. I think Ilia is going to immediately take Ryan Hall down, and Ryan Hall is going to be like, okay, and just wrap him up and submit him, because Ilia said he's not afraid of Ryan Hall's jiu-jitsu. There's a reason why every single other person is afraid of Ryan Hall's jiu-jitsu. I think Ilia needs to wise up and be afraid of it and keep it standing. Obviously, if he keeps it standing, he could still lose the way that Ryan Hall strikes, but that's his best. But I think he's going to try and grapple Ryan Hall, and it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well.
There's a big difference between what people say in interviews and what they're actually going to do in the fight. I don't know. Maybe he will do that. I don't think he should either. But I think if he does, he still can win. But I think the easiest path to victory is disengage and throw big bombs, because I don't think Ryan Hall has the striking to hang with him.
Ryan Hall also has never been outstruck in a fight in his career.
I mean, I completely disagree with the Hall pick, but you make a compelling argument, and lots of people agree. I mean, you're not the only one. This isn't like a weird hill to die on. My underdog pick is Hugh Yazong, or Yazong Hugh. I mean, he was a massive underdog. He may even squeak himself to favorite before the fight starts, but that dude looked amazing on the scale. He's had a long layoff. His record's not fantastic, but if you look a little closer, you get a good look at his skills and what he can do. And
Who are you talking about? Hall?
Hugh or
Yazong.
Oh yeah,
I actually took Amandovsky out of my lineup when I saw Hugh on the scale. I sent you guys a picture. I'm like, oh, this is the same guy? Holy cow.
The graphic. On the graphic, he's a chubby turd. And then on the scale, it's like, oh.
I know. I think I called him a slug. I'm like, this is not the same guy.
What is that line at now, Angelo? Pull it up.
It's
because
plus 102.
Plus one. Oh, man. I know people who hammered that at like plus 180, I think.
He'll be a favorite tomorrow. That's really funny. Yeah, he'll definitely be a favorite. The fact that, like Jacob said earlier, they didn't let people take their shirts off for the new sponsors, that might have helped his line, honestly. Because when he weighed in for real, I was like, damn, this dude looks good. And he's tall. He's a big dude.
He is tall.
Anybody watching, if you're new here, subscribe. It costs you nothing. Super easy to click the subscribe button. It's appreciated. Plus, I have fancy new graphics that pop up on the screen if you hit subscribe. So I'm just waiting for somebody to do it so I can show Jacob that I figured that crap out on my own. I don't need his help anymore. And also, we do fight breakdowns every single week, betting guides, DraftKings lineups. So if you have questions, let us know. We're happy to answer them.
Speaking of height, just because I noticed this at the ceremonial weigh-ins, Carlos Condit is like a lot taller than Max Griffin. I don't know why I thought Carlos Condit was kind of a smaller guy, but he's like 3 or 4 inches taller. And he looks good, man. He looks focused, and he got. I think I texted you guys as well. He got a big pop when he came out. There's a lot of Carlos Condit fans.
He's the most likable guy in the world.
I know, he's a legend, dude. Think of some of the battles he's been in.
I know, but he's kind of like lost in the shuffle in this card. There's so many big names on this card, but the second he came out, man, it got loud.
Yeah,
Ryan Hall too. A lot of Ryan Hall fans.
The Ryan Hall videos went absolute bananas this week.
I told you he's got like a cult.
He's going to be the next Ben Askren. He's going to be the next. I
think he was the original Ben Askren, probably.
Yeah, I guess so. Ben Askren took his
graphic.
Twitter
Thank
phone.
you, Maximus.
Max Griffin or Wonder Boy?
I think Wonder Boy
for sure.
But Max Griffin could put away Carlos Condit, and I don't see Wonder Boy putting away.
Nobody's ever put away Carlos Condit.
I know, but it happens. It will eventually happen.
Leg kicks. He's never been put away.
I think Max Griffin's the better play. I think at minimum, Griffin and Condit is going to be an absolute war because Condit is tough as hell, and if Wonder Boy wins, he's going to be picking his shots, moving away, trying to keep the distance, and if he doesn't accomplish that, he's going to get taken down. So
Wonder Boy has a much better chance. Wonder Boy has a much better chance of knocking down Burns than Griffin does on Condit. Much better.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough call.
I think Griffin.
I think I agree with Dan.
Thank you for the support, Jill. Jill's got my back in the chat. At least somebody does. I think all the people left me except for Jill and Dunchichi. And Dunchichi's like, I saw he put a comment today, like he's busy. He can't be in the chat as much as he used to. I miss you, Dunchichi. I miss you, man. I'm losing the people.
They're fading on you. Sorry, let me just adjust that. You didn't see the fancy new graphic. We got a new subscriber. It popped up, but it wasn't up long enough. I had to make some adjustments. Lock that in. Yeah, I'm very curious. Jill, you've always got some solid lineups. What does your lineup look like? Walk us. Just message your lineup. I'm very curious.
Wow. So everyone else can play it? Jill, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't fall into that trap, Jill, because then everyone's going to start playing your lineup, and then you can't win because there's going to be 100 of your lineups in a tournament.
My biggest regret since we started doing this whole thing is not playing all of our lineups since week 1.
I know. Remember that?
There was multiple $1,000 winnings. Like, oh, I won $6,000. I won $5,000. But then what was it, $25,000 or something with your lineup?
Hell, our second week into this, I went 6-0. I had a perfect lineup.
How sad is that? I had a lineup where someone messaged like, "Thanks, Dan. I won $27,000 with your lineup," and I was only playing in our league, and I think I won
like 100 something,
$120. I was like, oh, okay, should probably start playing
David, that's a valid reason. I do apologize for that. That's a valid reason. What was that? Which lock of the week was that? Was that Vivi?
What are you talking about?
Jacob lost me with Monkey Knife Fight promotion.
Who was the lock of the week?
Didn't they all get the money anyways, though?
It was supposed to be 10, and Monkey Knife Fight gave him 5. So
Whoa.
you got 5.
Was that the agreement? I don't think that was the agreement.
Yeah, that was the agreement. Okay, you go write him an angry letter, Dan.
I will.
I think it was
right now.
Yeah, it was Vivi versus.
It wasn't Burchek or
no, it was Vivi.
Yeah, Vivi because we all thought that Vivi won for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, David, it was Vivi. Yeah, Vivi. So why are you mad at me? She won the fight just because she didn't win on the judges' scorecards. I changed my mind, David. Get out of here. She won that fight. Get out of here.
Sean V. Hall seems really chalky and trendy as an underdog. I get it that maybe Topuria is a bit overhyped, but he should still run through Hall. I agree. It's funny, Sean, you do this a lot, and you've been right, where you're like, are you worried that everybody feels this way? And normally, no, I don't care what other people think, but you were right with Volkov. You're like, aren't you worried everybody's on Volkov? And I'm like, no. And then Volkov got pounded on, and it's like, damn. Maybe
I don't think everybody. I mean, I know there's like it's a cult following with Hall, but the line is still very heavy on Topuria.
It's 2-1. What did it open at?
Yeah, the line is different than the fanfare. The line is people actually betting money. The fans are fans, but at least the Hall fans are loud.
All the experts say that Conor's going to end up the favorite before the fight. They say all the late money is going to start pouring in on Conor.
Oh man, if I can get some plus money on Dustin,
the expert, you know how ESPN has like some of the experts that come on and they talk about it. They said right now Conor is the best value because the previous 2 fights, he ended as a 3-1 favorite before the fight, and now he's plus money. So if he's a 3-1 favorite, you would think he would win 2 out of 3 times, and this is the 3rd fight. So they said all the people that are flying into Vegas at the last minute to watch the fight, and all these people are just going to name recognition Conor, throw their money at it. He's going to end up being a big favorite before the fight starts. That's what they said.
Eric Gonzalez, are we going live before the fights? Yes, I will be live tomorrow at 12:30 Central Time. So whatever that is in your time. Bon Quiqui 72. Do Plessis or Tuivasa most likely to fold on Saturday? To get folded or do the folding? I think both these guys win, and I think both of them could win by
If one of them's going to get folded, though, it's going to be Tuivasa.
Yeah.
Trevin Giles is not going to.
That's a fair point.
Put away Duplessis, but Greg Hardy can definitely put away Tuivasa.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think Hardy folds in that fight, though, later in the fight. We'll see. Somebody, sorry, I forget who said it. It was a Mr. Savage, but they said that, Hardy's cardio issues when there's grappling involved, not so much when it's a pure striking match, which is a fair point, but I just think that this is, I don't know. So Hardy used to train at American Top Team, and that's when he was making leaps and bounds. Since he left and did his own thing, he's been kind of hit or miss, and he's been missing on tougher fighters, and hitting on lesser fighters. So I think this is going to be a tough fight for him. So we'll see if he's made adjustments in his training camp, but I don't know.
It sounds like he's just Rashad's boy now. It sounds like that it's just Rashad and him that are just doing everything together now. So I don't know if that's been the same the last couple years, but it's really sounded like this last camp. It was just like him and Rashad just going
right, which is cool and it's great, and that like listen, that works for some people. But I'll tell you right now, in the sport of fighting, it is invaluable to have multiple training partners, multiple high-level coaches, and did you go into a gym every day with 50 other elite level fighters, you're going to get better. When it's
and even you don't even have to go that extreme. Just other human beings the same size. Rashad is small,
right? You got to get heavyweight looks. You got to get heavyweight feels.
100%. 100. Well, yeah. I don't think Greg Hardy. Obviously, he has a chance because he's a giant, strong, athletic human being. But it's a fist
By the way,
fight.
one of the exceptions to that is Glover. Glover's got his own camp up in Connecticut with a bunch of good fighters, good guys. But it's not like he's got 40 guys with him that they're all light heavyweights. Runs his own camp, but the reality of that is he's had 20 years experience. So it's like,
and he's always been that guy. Like that's because he went to American Top Team for a little while and was like, I love it here. I love the atmosphere. But Connecticut's my home. We do my own thing. Yeah,
he still comes down here and trains. But dude, he trained at the Pit for years. He trained in Brazil with a lot of guys. So he's got 2 decades worth of experience all over the world. So at this point, it's almost like you guys got to be in shape and do your basics, drill the same stuff, and he can go out there and beat anybody on any given day. But
Angelo
Hardy doesn't have that experience. That's the problem. He needs to be evolving. Because you can't just rely on your athleticism at this stage in the game.
Well, and I know where you're going, Jacob. I'll pin it. And then Glover's training camp for the Rampage Jackson fight literally was me, Paul Ciotto, and like 2 other bigger dudes. Yeah. None of us were strikers. None. So like his whole camp was just, Angelo, can you come today at noon? No, I have a meeting. Like so that was his camp, and he smoked Rampage Jackson. So like, that's just who he is.
I'm trying to think of who I flew out to California for him to train for. Who was it? Was it Babalu? I don't remember, but anyways, there was like 4 or 5 of us. Nobody was light heavyweights, and we'd alternate rounds, and he just made work out of it with what he had, and he went out and dominated.
Let's talk about things that we could all talk about, please.
Jacob, you helped out in training camp, right? Didn't you do paperwork?
Listen, one of my friends is an amateur champion fighter. He's like 5-0, flyweight in Indiana, Angelo Robles. So, and when me and him worked at FedEx, one time I ankle picked him, took him to the ground. So I think I'm that kind of.
I will never
ankle picked him while working at FedEx.
Yeah.
That's just very weird how that happened. I want to hear the story. Like, where were you like loading boxes? And
we were well at FedEx. You throw boxes. You don't really load them, so we were just throwing boxes.
I use UPS. I'm glad now. So my stuff's not.
Oh, that's awful. I could tell you bad stories.
How'd you get to the ankle pick? I'm still waiting for how this.
Yeah, I would always, because he was at that time he was a college wrestler. I think he was getting ready to be a college wrestler. So I was like, I would always be like, "Who?" Because like I would antagonize.
College wrestler.
I would always antagonize. So sometimes I would like just go and grab his wrist, like, "Oh, wrist control." And then one time I just reached for his ankle and he tripped on something and fell. So I called it. I told him my ankle picked him. I didn't actually do it, but I mean, he tripped and fell. So I that's a credit me. In DraftKings, I would have got credit for the takedown.
So real quick, Sean V, very anti-Tuivasa right now.
Well, whoa. We got to go back to David. You pinned it, didn't even mention it. Angelo's trying to slip right past it.
Because you just keep talking.
No, you're trying to slip right past it. Look what he's trying to slip past, Dan.
You just can't not talk about packages.
Oh, Angelo, you don't want to highlight that one?
I did highlight it, and then you guys are talking about nonsense. Yeah, I mean, whenever Dan's going to make his way to Texas, I'll smoke him. It's that simple.
Oh, my God. You've been training hard, huh?
I think it should be in Abu Dhabi.
Do I need to?
Go to Abu Dhabi. We'll do it.
In the sand. We'll do it in the sand, guys.
I'm not flying to Florida. I'm definitely not flying to Abu Dhabi. I'm going to New York next week. Meet me in New York. I'll smoke you there.
Times Square.
I'm trying to think. I may actually be in New York next week.
Good. I'll be in. Let's go to Glover's Gym on not Saturday. We could do Saturday morning, the 17th. We'll go to Glover's Gym and get this over with.
Yeah, I'm actually not in New York, and
how that worked out. Okay, Jacob.
Okay, baby Jake.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally might book a flight right now just because you're annoying me about it. 17th.
Saturday morning,
not
the
too
17th
at 9,500.
And I'm gonna be honest. It's my first time back in Connecticut in a long time. Boneless spare ribs don't exist here in North Texas for some reason. So Friday night, I plan on eating like 2.5 pounds of Chinese boneless red ribs.
That'll be good with all your cardio.
But I'll still be good to go Saturday morning. Back to Sean V.
Throw up boneless ribs all over me.
Back to Sean V. Very quickly, Sean.
I like Sean. Sean brings real insight.
Tuivasa's, you're right. Tuivasa's not like a K1 level kickboxer, but he's got power. His head is freaking rock solid, and he has kicks and wrestling as well. He's an actual well-rounded fighter.
Wrestling. DC and Din were like making fun of the fact that there might be a takedown in that fight.
Dude, Tuivasa's taking people down. Okay. I don't know. Are the bonuses increasing to $75,000 tomorrow? They should. Someone said, I think Sugar tweeted like 75K coming tomorrow or something. Yeah, so maybe. Is there a path to where Jessica I can pull an upset? Yeah. The problem with Jessica I is I just feel like in her last, X number of fights, she just has looked awful. But at the end of the day, she's a legit veteran that has been around the block, fought everybody everywhere, and has it under his belt. Or her belt. Jennifer Maia, honestly. Jennifer Maia is coming off I don't want to say an embarrassing loss to Shevchenko because Shevchenko does that to everyone, but she kind of got demoralized in that fight, and that kind of can ruin people, at least their psyche, at least their confidence, because I'm sure she went into that fight thinking, I can beat Shevchenko, and it wasn't even close. So sometimes that can mess with people, honestly. Well, this is a Sean V knows Mark Holman. That's a huge no. That's a big no. I was a giant Mark Coleman, but even bigger Kevin Randleman fan. I loved Kevin Randleman. Let's see. Mr. Savage. Hardy is less skilled. I agree
with Mr. Savage here.
Hardy is less skilled, and once he gets hit with some bombs, he's going to fold. I just timed out Mr. Savage. He's got 5 minutes to think about that comment. You're all over the place, man.
You're a big Greg Hardy fan?
He picked him to win.
I hate Greg Hardy. I hate Greg Hardy. I think he's a douche. I mean, listen to his interviews. He's like like the most overconfident buffoon I've ever heard. But I just think that he's just going to land the bigger shot. I just think he's just weird enough to get in there and throw the bigger shot. I just think he's going to win. I don't know that the fact that he was running his mouth and calling what's his name, an ex-con, Derek Lewis. It's just like you have no self-awareness. The craziest thing he said was they're asking about him training with Rashad, and they said, "How's Rashad look?" Because Rashad's making his comeback now, and he said, "Oh, Rashad right now would beat John Jones easy." It's like what? Yeah. That's a crazy. He didn't beat him the first time. He's gonna beat him now. Yeah. Well, trying to bear boxing match too. Not bear. No, he's trying to fight. He's trying to get the Logan Paul money. The Jake Paul payday, yeah. Or was it Logan he was calling out? Yeah, I think Logan. Logan's the one that's not very good.
Who's calling out Logan Paul?
Rashad. I mean, if you're
shoot your shot, I guess.
I'm very, very interested in him versus. Here's the thing: they are amazing at picking opponents. Like they're perfect at it.
I already put a bet on Woodley on that. I mean, Woodley's got to beat him. If he doesn't, that will just be a sad day.
But it's so funny. I agree. He's got to beat him. But look at the Woodley. We just saw 4 fights in a row.
Dude, it's MMA. It's a different training camp. Now all he has to do is train boxing.
Woodley's last fight, he did come out like a cannonball. Even when he was hurt, he got folded. Even when he was hurt, he still was throwing bombs. Actually, they asked Holloway about all this crossover and stuff. They said, when are we going to finally send a striker over to fight these guys? He's like, Woodley's close, but Woodley's still a wrestler, man. If they send a striker, this stuff would end real quick.
David Ramon talking about Jacobs Arkansas wrestling. I got my shirt.
We got that special message from Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell picked Dustin Poirier. Sent me a message today on Twitter.
It's funny, Sean V. You're big on the trends going in one way or another. Are you worried? I would say Dustin Poirier is one of those. I mean, the amount of people that think Dustin Poirier is going to win or convinced Dustin Poirier is going to win is nuts. Like I've met very few people that are in the Conor camp, even casual fans. But then obviously the press conference told a way different story.
I'm the biggest Conor fan in the world, and I had 40 minutes today where I picked Dustin to win.
Yeah.
Listen, they saw the last fight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you can go in there. How many months later is it? What, 3-4 months later?
It's not that long. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that long. It's like, what could be that different the second fight around? I mean, he catches him with one more clean shot in the first round. He caught him with everything he had in the first round, the last fight.
I mean, I sent you guys those clips. He didn't follow up those big shots. He landed those big shots, and normally Conor is. You saw the Eddie Alvarez. It's boom, 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 and he just keeps chasing people down with shots. On those shots, it was a boom, and then let me sit, let me be patient. I think this is a 5-round fight. I think this next time he's boom, 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 just running down his throat. He wants
and
to.
That's when the double leg happens. Jacob.
I mean, yeah, that's what needs to happen because Conor he's convincing himself. This trash, everyone says this trash talk is corny and stuff. I agree, it's corny. I don't really think he's trying to get in Dustin's head. I think he's really like hyping himself up. He's using this as self-motivation. Like, I'm going to kill this dude, and he's going to run over and try.
He's definitely trying to get in Dustin's head, and you're probably right. He also probably is hyped and believes a lot of it. But a couple of the comments I saw, they felt desperate of trying to get in his head with some of the things. He's like, think about that while you're in the sauna or something. It just, you can tell you can just tell he's really trying to play the mental game.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw another comment here. Hold on. I was going to pin it. Right here. Maybe Natural Born Killer will pull an Immortal Brown. Yeah, he might, man. We talked about it in the breakdown video. He just beat Matt Brown, and that win looks really good right now. It's a different kind of fight where Matt Brown fought Diego Lima, where Max Griffin is tough and on the way up and fast and good everywhere. Where Diego Lima's, different skill set. I kind of gained some respect for Logan after the Floyd fight, but Jake actually pissed me off. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Jake, dude, the Ben Askren Jake Paul press conference, Ben Askren made Jake Paul look like, and he is an idiot. He's hard to watch. He really is. He can't form a full sentence.
I kind of knew that was going to happen with Askren, and I was like, man, that was just because casual people here are like, oh, the MMA champion got beat by Jake Paul. It's like, no, the guy was never. I
actually thought Askren. I thought he was going to do well because Askren was like, we've never seen him get knocked out like that. Obviously the knee, but that thing doesn't count. You know what I mean? Askren's like super tough, and I just thought he would come marching forward, be tough, and just throw stuff moving forward.
Dude, just think about it, though. He is such an awkward striker. Like, I didn't think he was going to get knocked out like that either, to be honest. But,
especially because he was working with Freddie Roach, wasn't he?
Jeez.
I have no idea, but that worked for like 3 weeks. What is that going to do?
Eric Gonzalez, no, I don't think so at all. Yeah. I don't think he's got a chance past the second, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, the third is a neutral round after that.
What is that? What are you doing over here?
One of the girls Jacob checked out on Instagram, then fell in love with on this channel.
What?
Review Central.
Cortez and Brian Ortega.
I was going to say, yeah, that looks like, oh, wow, okay.
There you go.
Who is that? What's her name?
Unreal. Why would she post it? She knows I'm live right now.
Oh,
she knows I'm going to see it. I mean, she knows I'm going to see it while I'm live. Like, why?
Who's bigger, Conor or Dustin? Yeah, Dustin is the bigger human being, for sure. Conor's got a different build. He's more muscular, but I think Conor's more muscular, but I think Dustin's just the bigger person. It's like me and Dan. I'm much larger than Dan. Dan's got a little more muscle.
Dustin's a lot. I think Dustin's a
he's a
lot
small
bigger
person.
than Conor. Even DC.
How much you weighing now, Angelo? You making that?
260.
Okay, just under the heavyweight limit. All right.
Yeah, right there. Right there.
I'm about 220, so I guess I'm technically heavy. This will be a heavyweight matchup.
Kraus is convinced Aldana rolls easily despite how bad she looked on the scales. When you said you mean dominates.
I know a couple
I think
people.
she loses that fight, man.
I know a couple people that I respect their opinions a lot on fights, and they've said the same thing. They think Aldana's going to win this fight.
Angelo, are we split on every time we talk about a fight? I think we're split on.
We were split like the first 6 while filming, and people even commented, "This is hard. I need Dan or Nick as a tiebreaker."
Oh, I did see that. That was kind of funny.
Last time you guys were split on everything?
Yeah.
Like the first 4 fights, we were split. I mean, just look at track records, and then you know what direction it goes.
I agree.
Yeah, well, that's definitely an easy one.
I agree. I go 6-0 every week.
Yeah.
Sure. So we bet. Oh, all right. So side bet this week on the DraftKings lineup. Yeah, there it is. There's Jacob for you. Conor can win. Conor can go out there, do something he hasn't done in a long time. That is to submit. That would shock the world.
Could you imagine though? Because
Patrick Baggett, that
I would imagine one of the easiest things to get is a guillotine in like a weird fight. Could you imagine he's just waiting on a shot and just been practicing his guillotine and just wraps Dustin up?
Patrick, if you think that's going to happen, you need to go to wewantpicks.com/bets and go to bet online and put a prop bet on that because you're going to get some ridiculous odds. And if you really think that's going to happen, I don't even know what the odds are. I bet it's 25-1 at least.
I think it was 2,200.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Doing the first round.
Chico asking when the fights start. The fights are tomorrow. The undercard starts at 5 o'clock Central Time. The main card, the
Angelo has already started fighting his sobriety.
I'm drinking water, man.
Yeah, I bet.
Sober. Oh, 100%. I'm not slurring yet. No, I'm water tonight. I'm gonna drink heavy tomorrow.
You even put drinks in the title,
water too,
and nobody's drinking. Unreal. Lying to the people.
I was gonna drink, and then I was like, you know what? Let me save it for tomorrow. Tiffany's out of town. It's just me and the kids. I don't want to.
Great, yeah.
I need a good night's sleep.
So I can take
need a good night's sleep.
I don't want that abuse tomorrow. I know how
you
get.
I need a good night's sleep, man, and I drink 5 nights a week, so this will be my.
Is this an intervention? You're defending yourself an awful lot about this drinking.
This will be a night off.
The Mika Reynolds. I agree. The takedowns, I think, are going to be the story of this fight.
Yo, Ohio State, go blue, baby. Go blue.
Here we go. Who is the hammer lock tomorrow night? Listen, I'll tell you. We're each going to give you different answers. I say the lock, and you said besides Sean O'Malley, which is fair because that is a lock. I would say Tai Tuivasa. Honestly, I think that's a lot of these matchups are close. Tai Tuivasa is on a different level than Greg Hardy. All right, Dan.
I honestly think it's if I had to give like an actual lock besides O'Malley, I might go Akhmedov.
Really?
Didn't you just say? I thought you picked Brad Tavares in that fight.
No, I say he's tough. You're the one. No, you started talking about his toughness. I was like, oh, Hawaiian tough. But I think Akhmedov just grapples him and wins.
I think that's a tough fight. I wouldn't call it a lock. I think he wins, but I think it's going to be a tough fight.
Who's yours, Aldana?
Let me tell you right now who mine is.
Dustin. You probably picked Dustin.
Right. I mean, you're asking for a lock. Like
I know that's why it's tough.
Yeah, a real lock.
The actual lock is Ryan Hall, Ohio State.
I would never
go blue.
I think it might be Zalgas, but you got terrible odds on him. I don't see.
I have Rivera winning that fight, so
I know we already talked about this.
I mean, it's so you have your answer. It's Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is your answer. You wanted a guarantee. That's a guarantee. You can't have 10 guarantees. We would be rich. And I agree. Bon Quiqui, I agree with you. Women and heavyweights are never a lock. There's just levels. If Greg Hardy loses, I'm gonna look like such a moron. I'm so high on Tuivasa. I just think there's levels, and Tuivasa's on a different level. Anybody in here, you haven't seen us before, and you don't know what we do. First of all, subscribe, like the stream. That'd be very appreciated. Costs you nothing, and it's very supportive. Second of all, we break down fights every single week. It is myself. I've managed fighters for 15 years. Danny Kramer in the middle, professional fighter, American Top Team. Jacobs on the show too, and Nick Newell, who is out promoting his movie, but he will be back. I promise you. I've been saying that for a while, but Nick will be back. Nick Newell, professional fighter as well. We break down fights. We do betting guides, drafting lineups, monkey knife fights, the whole nine. So you have questions, let us know. And that was just for the new people here.
Michelle Pereira is minus 171 now. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even more confident in Nico now that I know he's at MMA Masters. He did as well as he did at some gym.
Yeah, that does help for sure. He was training up in Fort Myers. I guess, being at MMA Masters is definitely gonna probably help him.
Who's the better fighter? Michelle Pereira is like a top 10 talent in that division.
Yeah, if Michelle Pereira fights a good calculated fight and uses his talent, dude, he could be a contender.
Diego Sanchez beat him, and I beat Dan in DraftKings because I had Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, well, what was that?
Insane DQ. That was I loved it.
I was gonna say I don't even remember that happening. I think I deleted it from my memory.
Even when he's wild, he would win fights. He would be dominating.
Oh yeah, he knew. He was like, I'm gonna.
He was like, I can't. Oh my head, I can't.
Oh yeah, I do remember. Right. It's probably his manager.
I was so mad at you that night.
Take the fall. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and there's another good point, Bon Quick. Nico Price stopped smoking the weed. That could only be a good thing. That's a lifestyle change. That's not just like, I train hard. A lot of Nico Price fans in this chat. Only knockout hammer fist on bottom. That was
a sick knockout from the bottom with the hammer fist. There's something about it. Imagine knocking somebody out, just being like, "Get off me!" Bam, and just knocking them out. I know the power you have to have in a random back fist on your no hips at all. That's just your arm. Well, Kevin Holland kind of did that to Jacare, where they were both laying on the ground. He just kind of reached over and hit him. Yeah, that was like a Mortal Kombat, like loaded from the hip punch, though. It was very weird. Like jumped up, Wonder Boy wins a decision on points from the outside unless Burns gets in the inside of the grapple. That's exactly. It's going one of those two directions. I completely agree. So Nico's going for the title, man. He said he's chasing the title. Wow. Yeah. And he's a nice dude. His chin might be an issue only because he has been in wars and he's young and he's been in some fights. I'm not worried about Michelle Pereira's cardio in the later rounds if it really becomes a slugfest. Listen, I have Nico winning. I have that money line bet on him. But Michelle Pereira, if he shows up and fights with his hands on his chin and his feet where they're supposed to be, he should absolutely win that fight. But if he starts dancing around because Nico's crazy and smiling and doing weird crap and Michelle just plays into that, that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to get exhausted and Nico Price is going to march him down and beat him up. Who wins, Nico Price or Usman? That's a real question. He says he's chasing the title. I mean, might as well just talk about it. I think that Nico Price really dominates Usman, over 5 rounds. Sorry. Go ahead. No, we're just Dan's just cracking himself up based on some comments. Angelo does twice a week. There you go. I gotta go to the bathroom, guys. Very unrelated. You really threw him off. Look, he's flustered. He didn't know what to talk about. He's trying to find a new comment. Look at he finally found a new comment to latch on. Jill and I are on the same page. Pereira getting caught when he's screwing around. I completely agree. He does have a good chin, though. They both do.
I think the underrated part of this fight is that Michel Pereira can go to the ground and just submit Nico. I feel like anytime he wants. Michel Pereira on the ground, you always see him doing these flips with the wild striking. He's fantastic on the ground. He'll wrap you up and choke you out in a second. So I think that's
he's very good. I rolled with Nico. I rolled with Nico years ago, but he was pretty green. You know, he was pretty.
You showed him a few things.
No. Just no. I was like my first day in the gym. It was my first day at that.
That's the second name drop he's had for. I've been training. First, it was Glover.
You're talking about
I was training with Glover, and now it's like, I'm training with Nico.
I'll wait. Yeah, you're talking about ground. I literally have firsthand experience with that other opponent. With the opponent,
you gotta say it again.
Ground,
everyone, pay attention. Angelo's been training with Nico. Everyone, Angelo's been training with Nico. Angelo's been training with Nico.
This is.
You have any apartment? You have any furniture in your apartment yet? That was like a real echo.
Very echoey. Very echoey.
The toolbox.
A toolbox. I went to his house. Here's your toolbox story. He's like, dude, I drilled into the wall. I'm trying to hang the TV. I don't know what this wall's made out of. There's something wrong here.
This is Nico you're talking about?
Yeah. So I went over, and I'm like, let me see the drill. And he has like a normal drill, like his dad got it for him. So he's got like a drill. I look at the wall. I'm like, this is a normal sheetrock wall. I'm like, that's a stud. That's a real stud with wood. What's the issue? He's like, it's not going in. It's not going in. And then I look at the drill, and there's like a high and a low switch. I'm like, it's on low. Clicked it in the high. No problem. Unbelievable.
Clean that up, Nico. We got it better.
Unbelievable.
I can't make fun of it. I'm not very handy either, Jacob. So, I mean, I wouldn't have done that.
What about me? It was about Nico. It wasn't my story. He just said it was about Nico.
So I agree. So that's what I was getting to there is he was green on the ground like 7 years ago. Obviously, he's improving, but Michel Pereira is a genuine black belt. He has genuine. He's the better fighter in every single category, except I would say heart and, self-control is what I would say.
And he's big enough too, where he's not like a wrestler, so he doesn't have takedowns. But he's so big for that division that he can literally just body lock you and just take you down. He's just so big.
I want him, listen, I think a Nico Price can turn into a cowboy, meaning he'll show up, he'll have amazing fights, a ton of fun, fight anybody, anywhere, build a brand, make a ton of money. I think Michel Pereira can be a champion if he reins in the crazy. Because the crazy has gotten him in trouble. It's not like, oh, it's crazy. Like he gets exhausted. He puts himself into weird spots, gives up positions he shouldn't. The crazy's an issue.
Well, I hope I don't even know after that weigh-in how I feel about my bet right now.
Because he did that backflip and hurt his hip.
Oh, yeah. That's great, David. I forgot that fight dropped. Kevin Lee and Sean Brady was supposed to be on this card. That'd have been wild. That'd have been a wild fight.
That was going to be a good card. Talk about a guy who's really good, but always gasses out and just doesn't have that 3-round cardio.
Well, Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
Well, he finally moved up in weight to 170, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is he coming back down?
I don't even know.
He was playing that game for a while, but he looked a lot better. I think he fought a fight at 170. I think he looked better. But, yeah, that weight cut, because he was a huge 155. Holy cow, he was a big guy.
Yeah. What if Condit starches Max? It's possible with Condit's experience and stuff, but he's not a starch kind of guy, right? He doesn't have real true knockout power. He can submit, but if he beats Max, it'll just be he's out positioning, he's hanging in the clinch and just sucking Max into a war. But Max is just bigger, stronger, faster, and bigger as in muscular. He's not as tall, but I just think he's going to be.
I think that's going to be a good fight. I think that's going to be closer than people think. But yeah, I think Max is going to take it. But I think it could be a lot of points in DraftKings, both sides, to be honest.
And Bonkuki saying Max has been chin checked and it holds up. And listen, and Carlos Condit is legit and he's good everywhere. He's just, everybody fades.
Carlos Condit's going to win the fight. He's going to dominate the fight.
Jacob, you and I, we should go back to our bet every single fight thing.
I'd love to do that. Like $10
because we're on opposite sides of all of them. We might as well.
Found me.
Okay. And let's bet our lineups against each other too, Jacob.
By the way, Mbaye may have a very good point here. We're talking about Condit like he's older.
He's 37.
Yeah, they're basically the same age. I talked about that in the breakdown. It's like
he's just more battle worn.
More miles.
Yeah, a lot more miles.
Yeah, his body is old.
But I think he got the knife out on the rubber tires and made some new tread. I think he's got a lot left in the tank.
He does have that nice 2-fight win streak going on. I did not. So it looks like Aaron bought the Lock of the Week T-shirt.
Me and Sugar Sean, both undefeated. Me, Sugar Sean, and what's his name? And Chael. Never lost. Undefeated.
Yeah.
Undefeated. Undisputed.
Yeah, Gibster. I did not watch that boxing match, but I saw highlights. He looked fantastic. And he fought an actual boxer. Not a wannabe boxer, a legitimate boxer.
I think he beat the hell out of him.
Yeah. He looked fantastic. He's always had phenomenal striking. He's had a good chin too, especially, he got old. He got knocked out a few times, but you put on 12-ounce gloves, 14-ounce gloves, 16-ounce gloves instead of 4-ounce gloves. That'll buy you some chin time.
Oscar De La Hoya versus on the juice Dana White. Who's winning?
Honestly, Dana White might. De La Hoya, I think, is a disaster, man.
He's still promoting.
Did you not see when he was doing the commentary for the?
Wasn't he like slurring his words and saying everyone's names wrong and just
a mess? It was like me on these streams if this cup is filled not with water right now. I wouldn't feel bad. He's definitely gonna get smoked. And listen, he's from Massachusetts. I'm from Connecticut. I texted a bunch of people in the Massachusetts.
Here we go. Angelo probably trained with them at some point. Here we go.
I got the same. Everybody sent me back the same text, and it wasn't a group chat. They were just like, he's tough. He's very hittable. Like everybody said the same thing, and you don't want to get hit by Sean O'Malley. But the dude took his chance. We're 100% positive he'll get another fight because the UFC always does that. So you got to take the chance. So, and honestly, it's a great debut. It's on the it's the first fight of the biggest pay-per-view of the year. Good for him. If you're going to get the crap kicked out of you, I'd rather be him and lose against Sean O'Malley on this pay-per-view than win at the deep undercard of a random fight night. Absolutely. Because he can go out. Dude, you made that face. He can go out there, look pretty good, come marching forward.
Yeah, if he just
exciting.
Well,
he has built-in excuses.
You just went from lose versus win to like a close fight against
No,
Sean
I didn't say
O'Malley.
close. I'm saying go out there.
If he just survives, I think he made a bigger name for himself.
He already, if he was on an undercard of a random fight night 3 times, we wouldn't know who he is.
I would, because I do my research. Dan does his research. We would know who he is.
I actually would love if
Von Queequeg wants to know your picks, Jake. I mean,
is it just picks or is it bets? Because we
biggest
talked about the
stakes this weekend. Let's hear the picks.
Well, my biggest pick is lock of the week is Ryan Hall. I put everything on Ryan Hall.
Right.
I can't stress that enough. How much Ryan Hall is going to dominate this fight.
Ryan Hall. Next time you see Jacob, if Ryan Hall loses, he'll be doing his video from an alley with a stolen laptop.
There's literally 0% chance he loses.
I mean, this is going to be an awkward.
There's not a universe in the universe where Ryan Hall gets beat by this.
I guess it's a good thing we're not live streaming tomorrow, so that when you hit your weird just nosedive because the fight didn't go your way, it's not on camera. Because that's exactly what happened. I was there live when Trevin Giles got the crap beat out of him by Roman Dolidze, and you just like your whole personality took a dump. Then the judges scored it the other way, and you're like, oh,
halfway through. That's not even true. Halfway through the third round, I started popping champagne because I just hit 7 lock of the weeks in a row. I knew what was going on. He dominated.
You had no idea until they announced the decision, and you were like legit, like, oh my god!
I was already halfway through the bottle of champagne. I had to relight my cigar. I went to the bathroom. My cigar went out. I was already on my way.
What's your last meal, and who do you eat it with?
Wow.
MMA. If it's not an MMA answer, it's got to be my kids, and it's got to be. Is food okay? I'll talk about food. It's got to be.
We have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What a great answer.
Mine would be chocolate strawberries with Tracy Cortez.
Jesus Christ.
Belly button lint with Tracy Cortez.
Mine would just be warm honey with Amanda Hibas. I just need a candle and a lighter. That's all I need. With anyone on the roster.
I don't even. You are a sicko.
Boys, let them know.
Oh man, this is taking a turn.
It's getting late. It's about that hour.
We'll stick around for another 5-10 minutes and then we'll shut it down. I got to get a good night's sleep because I'm going to be on here for 2.5 hours tomorrow.
I'm sweating now. Whew.
So anybody, if you're watching and you haven't hit subscribe. We appreciate it. Costs you nothing. It'd be very helpful. Tomorrow I would be, I love this comment. Tomorrow I will be on from 12:30 Central to 3 Central, literally just to chat with everybody, go through lineups, bets, and if I can help, great. If you can help me, even better. So any last questions here? We'll give it another few minutes and then I'm out of here. Danny boy, you watching the fights at home tomorrow? You doing something special?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch them at home. I think I'm gonna have a couple people over, and I'm flying to North Carolina the next day. So
I agree with these guys for David for his question. Now I'm on your guys' side. I bet not a lot of people play Hugh. I guess the money's kind of coming in on Hugh now as far as an underdog play, but I bet a lot of people don't play Hugh.
Especially, dude, early it was like, because I told you after we film, I'll go see what other people say just out of curiosity. Everybody was like, "This guy stinks. He's terrible." Because
that's what I said too.
Because they just look at Tapology, see the record. Oh, this guy sucks. Next, and it's like, there's a lot of other stuff going on. Where I saw another comment here. O'Malley versus Peter Yan.
Just because you lose weight doesn't mean you're a better fighter. He hasn't beat anyone. He's 3-2, and his 3 wins are against combined record of 2-6. So
and he's a good wrestler, and he's tough. And his opponent sucks. We're talking about matchups and styles making fights. We're not talking about if he's going to be world champion. His opponent sucks. So anyway, O'Malley versus Peter Yan. I think Peter Yan smokes Sean O'Malley. Smokes him. Dan, what do you think? Peter Yan's an ATT guy. You must agree.
Yeah, I think he would beat O'Malley. I personally don't think it would even be that close, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw Aljamain Sterling dominate Peter Yan. So what in the world? What would Sean O'Malley do if Aljamain Sterling went in there and just ripped the belt out of his hands? Complete domination. Sean O'Malley would starch that dude inside of a round.
And Aaron, Nick's going to send something. So I'm getting something from Nick. As soon as I get it, I have to remind him tomorrow. Nick's so busy. I literally, even like before his fight, I have to remind him 20 times to get his blood done. So he owes me the video. I'll get it and I'll send it to you. I have not forgotten. Don't you worry. Allen got knocked out by white Mike Tyson. Can't fault him for that. I will.
Oh, Aaron's got some hot sauce for me in Asheville. Sorry, Angelo. I just
you're way behind. I pinned it on the screen.
My bad. I was texting on the side. Sorry, it's getting late over here. I'm going to Lake Norman. I don't know if that's near you, but Lake Norman, North Carolina.
David, no problem, man. I think we're gonna head out in a minute or two. Listen, that Aljamain Sterling thing was insane. It was so frustrating to watch. It was ridiculous. But the dude's the champ, and he's getting paid like the champ in the rematch. So you know, it is what it is.
Now he's playing games too with the location of the fight. He doesn't want it to be in Abu Dhabi and stuff like that. And
well, he's got to be careful because Dana White was like, "Forget it, you're out."
Yeah, I know. That's what I think his quote was, "I don't want to get in a pissing match with Dana," but he's kind of playing hard to get right now, and we've seen Dana just move on. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. I don't think Hugh does have his coaches, but honestly, everybody's different, and I don't know him or his relationship with his coaches. Some people need their coaches, need specific coaches. We've been at fights, right, Dan, where somebody literally doesn't have a coach, and they'll just ask another coach in the locker room, "Can you corner me?" It's like, yeah, okay. and then they're good. No big deal. So everybody's different relationships. So I don't know if that'll affect him or not. It's obviously can't be a good thing, but it may be just net neutral not having his coaches.
He needs to get the
Who
fight.
do you
to
have
happen
in all
while
the
he's-
prelims? I can't answer this question. Who do you have in all the prelims?
Mr. Savage, the worst part that could happen to Sterling is he does piss around and then they do an interim and then he gets stripped and he never gets paid for fighting as the champ. You gotta make sure he fights as the champ to get paid as champ.
Yeah, I mean, he could overplay his hand for sure. He could absolutely overplay his hand. All right, guys, we're gonna shut this down. Genuinely appreciate it. Anything we didn't get to, come back tomorrow. I will be here from 12:30 Central to 3 p.m. Central, or however long it lasts. If you have lineup questions, great. Monkey Knife Fight, great. Maybe one of these other two bums will hop on with me. If not, I will be there doing the Lord's work, sharing information. Show up, share with us. If you're watching and you're not a subscriber, click subscribe. It's immensely helpful for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
Adios.